another actual streamer, and when you watch it, he's literally walking away and like playing literal like creators. Now, if I was actual terror like music videos to like random creators. Now, if I was to do this on YouTube or really any other platform or even Twitch, I would actually be expecting a ban. You know, a couple.
Would you? Those fucking those videos are on YouTube. They're on Twitter. It's a video that's hosted on YouTube and Twitter. It's not akin to ISIS, dumbass.
Like about a year or two ago, like I was actually assisting a couple smaller YouTubers who basically had memes.
There are literal neo-Nazis on YouTube. What the fuck are you talking about? Apparently, some of them even, maybe not neo-Nazis, but some YouTubers even sit around and do reviews of child porn, drawn child porn, hentai, lolicon. That's how little YouTube gives a shit about their own terms of service. You know, Mudahar should know that. Seemingly, he participated in a review of lolicon himself.
Where they had like literal actual like meme channels where they had like actual like, you know, I think it was like ISIS music, and YouTube immediately after detecting it.
There's a difference between fucking ISIS music and the Ansar Allah movement or fucking Yemeni people making music videos. Oh my God.
Completely demonetized accounts. In some cases, they would actually remove videos or even ban people because YouTube went through a serious apocalypse in regarding this. And obviously, I think most platforms understand that, you know, highlighting illegal criminal organizations, they don't even have to be terrorists. They can be literal criminal gangs. Like, you know, if you're out there promoting the Hells Angels or you're promoting the Mexican drug cartels, you would probably get a serious ban.
You Mrs. Haig said Allah Akbar means.
But in this situation, Twitch's largest political streamer, left-wing political streamer, can just fucking out.
Clean your fucking shirt, man. What the fuck is this disrespectful ass bullshit, by the way? Jesus Christ, you're like spitting all over yourself while you're fucking doing this commentary? How fucking gross. Oh my God. What a goddamn slob, dude. You got fucking cum stains on your fucking t-shirt. Talking about shit that you don't know anything about. Ugh. Bro has never watched a Vice video? I know. Spitting out fucking tonsil stones on his shirt. No, Jesus.
Right. You know, promote this kind of stuff on the platform. And it's not even just that. It gets to a point where, like, imagine being a political streamer and you bring a actual pirate, a actual criminal onto your streams. And instead of, you know, being respectful and being a proper journalist, you get on your knees and suck their dick for about...
Yawn. I can't believe it. You mean you had a... Yeah, an actual pirate. No, he's not an actual pirate. Okay? He's not. An actual criminal. Mods! He's a criminal! Once again, 10 months ago. Once again, every fucking other outlet has also interviewed him. And also, they didn't fucking call him a Houthi either. You want to know why? Because he's not one. And it would be ridiculous for them to say that if he's not it. Okay?
About 32 minutes. Watch this clip.
They win over the crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America.
This is him talking about what the Ansar Allah, the Houthis, are doing. It's not something he did. We know he didn't do this. Okay?
The U.S. government.
That's so funny. Think about China. Does he know anything about China?
He's saying he hasn't spent much time with Chinese people, but one of the captain was Chinese, and he did caught with them, and he died.
Like, that's not true. This is like objectively false. Okay? For the record. Holy shit, this was like 50 pounds ago for you? No, it wasn't. I just have a big beard there. But that's besides the point. Like, as far as I understand, there was not even a single ship captain that was Chinese out of any of the apprehended ships. He wasn't a part of any of the apprehensions anyway.
Danced to music with them, and he was vibing, so he likes him. Yeah.
So I mean, what? That's so crazy. So they're just fucking chilling with the captains. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that we're talking about somebody that has been taken hostage, who, quote unquote, is being chilled with. And again, this is just right on Twitch.
America's like America's like blowing them up while they're just like doing cat and fucking chilling with the captains. Like, how does he feel about that? Isn't that fucking crazy? Like, I don't know how to describe.
Now, these clips were seen 8 months ago on Willie Mack's channel, but you can watch this video right now. Hasan will...
Please go watch Willie Mack's channel. He knows everything about this subject. He doesn't know shit. He doesn't know anything. I watched the piece that Bad Empanada watched, and I was shocked at how fucking stupid he was. I thought it was I thought there was at least like some like disagreements. You know what I mean? Like, I thought there had to have been some kind of like ideological disagreements there. No, not even. He's just a dumbass. Half the video is shit that he literally clipped to claim I'm advocating for when I'm advocating against that very position. I did not even know that half of these fucking Hasan is pro-Russia content creators were literally just operating on not understanding anything I'm saying or not knowing anything about the issue at all.
Sit there and hypebeast these people without any care in the world. Like, this man does not critically apply any form of journalism. He is just...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. The interview itself has journalistic value. I'm not a journalist. I'm a commentator. Also, is Willie Mack doing journalism? Like, what's happening?
Just showing these people and promoting them in this incredibly positive light when there are actually just pirates and terrorists who are putting people in harm's way, especially people that have nothing.
Yeah. The state that is implementing a blockade on the Red Sea in an effort to stop the genocide is actually putting people in harm's way, not the fucking state that is doing a genocide, and not America and all of the other fucking coalition forces that started blowing up Yemen because they decided to fucking stop ships from going through the Red Sea because they wanted to enforce some kind of penalty for the genocide that Israel was conducting. Oh my God. Thank you, Mudahar. I'm glad that you arrived at a reasonable conclusion. It's actually, yeah. Why does nobody want to talk about the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising and the violence that these Jewish people in the ghettos were subjecting the Germans to? Oh, the horror! Why is nobody talking about the Allied coalition forces in World War II, the bombing of Dresden? Unacceptable! Why won't anybody think about the poor Nazis that might have been harmed in the process? Now, of course, the merchant ships are not Nazis, okay? And I would never advocate to harm the people on these ships. They are putting a blockade on the Red Sea. They very clearly have said that their goals is to stop Israel from harming Palestinians further. This is an understandable and, dare I say, just goal. Okay? That's it. And in the words of Norm Finkelstein, who talks about his parents, who are Holocaust survivors, quite a bit when he talks about this specific comparison to the Ansar Allah movement, to the Yemeni Houthis and what they are doing in the Red Sea. He asks, if you had the opportunity as a state to stop the Holocaust and you took actions such as a blockade that disrupted German supply lines, for example, would I sit back and say, how dare you do that? Or would I champion that cause? And the answer is clear for many people. The answer is pretty clear. And that's kind of what I try to communicate to people who usually approach the subject matter with the exact same idiotic fucking perspective that this dumbass Mudahar is implementing here. Brown guy terrorists, bad. They're doing piracy. It's unacceptable. We never have that same principle for America's blockade. America's literally overtaken shipping tankers between Venezuela or Cuba and Iran, right? The Cuba blockade is unjustifiable and inhumane. The blockade implemented by the Houthis in the Red Sea is perfectly moral and perfectly understandable. It is there to stop a genocide. And it has been successful in spite of the billions of dollars that, the American Navy spent on Operation Prosperity Guardian. They have disrupted trade from the Red Sea so significantly that all of those ships had to go around the Horn of Africa rather than directly cut through the Red Sea. It bankrupted one of Israel's ports. This is one of the least violent ways in which you can resist against an ongoing genocide. Yeah. America literally carpet bombed Yemen's capital, Sana'a, in response to the blockade. Israel itself has also instituted a violent blockade for the past 2 decades around Gaza, not allowing Gazan fishermen to go beyond the 6-mile boundary, and even actually killing humanitarian aid ships like the Turkish one, Mavi Marmara, and killing all of the humanitarian aid organizers that were on that ship for penetrating the Israeli blockade instituted upon the Gazan shores. That is an example of an unjustifiable blockade. Now, here's the problem. Here's the issue. I'm willing to bet if I were to be like, hey, Mudahar, let's say country A is genociding a group of people that they've held captive in Area B. Okay, Area B has reason to want emancipation. Area B has reason to demand sovereignty and become a nation state all on its own. And yet, country A is not allowing that to happen and also doing a genocide. Okay? If country C decides to put an end to that by implementing a blockade and restrict trade with country A, do you agree with that? If I were to ask him that, I'm sure that he wouldn't say, no, I don't. I disagree with that. I think that you shouldn't fight against Nazi Germany and try to stop its trade routes so that they can resupply themselves. I'm sure that he would say that that is a valid and moral thing. But you don't have to ever have that argument if you just go, these guys are terrorists, they're bad, they're wrong, they're brown, they're doing piracy, they're fucked up, and then move on. You don't ever have to. Come on, Nazi, really? Yes, Nazi, really. What the fuck do you mean? An ultra-nationalist ideology committing an apartheid and partitioning an ethnic and religious minority in direct contravention of international law and then also conducting a genocide? Yes. Nazi, really. You can't have a fucking ethno-state built around the principles of ethnic and religious superiority and then enact that fascist ideology in violent ways and then go, whoa, Nazi, hello? It is. That's exactly what it is. The problem is, people, I don't think, even understand what Nazism is or think it's bad for the wrong reasons, I guess. The fuck is wrong with you? Fascism is a violent, suicidal ideology. It doesn't matter who's holding the gun. It doesn't matter who's in the crosshairs of said gun. Okay? So yes, the comparison between Nazism and Zionism is perfectly apt, and it's not one that I made alone for the first time ever. You're not from Europe. What? Dude, why is every European liberal like this? I can never tell if they're flexing or not. I can never, oh shit, I made him a mod. on accident. And I'm banning him, but what is this? Oh my God. We finally have a real cop as a mod, dude. Nazi ideology. How dare you fucking say that, lad?
Nothing to do with the Israeli conflict in general. So again, if you want to check it out, Willie Mack.
Wait, it's nothing to do with the Israeli conflict in general?
When there are actually just pirates and terrorists who are putting people in harm's way, especially people that have nothing to do with the Israeli conflict in general. So again, if you want to check it out, Willie Mack's video is great. He covers this topic. I would highly recommend you see this to see actual proper journalism and an actual proper objective.
He did not say that's actual proper journalism. This dude has the fucking... Oh, God. This dude has the sentience of a sea cucumber. Oh, my God.
Coverage of the situation. So he brings his kid...
Wait, the highlighted text actually says the opposite. The last dozen Houthi attacks on merchant traffic in the Red Sea have not targeted ships linked to or at least heading to or from Israel, in contrast to claims of the Iranian-backed group. The U.S. Naval Forces Central Command told reporters, yeah, no, this was when they were trying to make it seem like it was like, oh, this has nothing to do with Israel. They're just randomly doing this because Houthis love fucking doing piracy. They just love doing piracy. That's it. They love it. That's why they're doing it. It's weird that they didn't do it until Israel started, doing genocide in Gaza. It's just weird. And it's weird that they also kept saying, like, we're only implementing this blockade because of the genocide in Gaza. It's just weird that they just keep saying that. But as long as nobody fucking, as long as nobody hears that, here's my source, U.S. Central Command.
Get on and basically, talks about One Piece. They have a whole, gag and everything. And the thing about this kid is...
Which also is really weird that they weren't doing this to harm Israeli trade, as it's instituting a genocide, but it just seemingly bankrupt one of the Israeli ports. Yeah, they just hate boats, bro. You don't understand. The Houthis just hate boats. They don't like the science of floating above water. They hate that.
Obviously, if you know him, this guy is an influencer called Timothy Chalamet. Okay, so
That's not what he's called. That's what everybody in the Western world called him, myself included.
Movement,
because he looks like fucking Timothy Chalamet.
Basically, a movement where, again, this kid is part of a piracy organization where you can see him literally.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's doing objective journalism that he got from Willie Mack, which is, by the way, literally read a single fucking news report on this. Not a single thing that this man has said is correct. Not a single thing that he has said is correct. Bro, didn't you have this guy on 7 or 8 months ago? Why is he still a thing? He's still a thing. Well, he's not really a thing. It's just these guys want to make him into a thing because they think it's a solid way to attack me and demand I get banned, but in a way where it's like, oh, I'm just pointing out the inconsistencies in terms of service. Yeah. Hasan, British hate small boat, Houthi hate big boat. Yeah, that's how it works. Is a shameless hit piece, a organized effort to try and get me deplatformed. It didn't fucking work, and now I'm looking at it because I didn't have time to look at it before.
On actual captured vessels. It's not something that's a hidden secret. He brought this guy on and basically popularized him. Now, before people...
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I popularized the Ansar Allah movement, baby. I made him go viral.
The Hasan camp go, but Muda, this kid has seen only suffering his entire life. So obviously, he's going to be part of these situations. And, you're being a little bit harsh. Now, I am one of those people that is empathetic towards individuals. And obviously, if this kid has only ever seen death and destruction in his entire life because of the Saudi-Yemen conflict, then yes, I can understand why they would do such a thing. But never in a million years should you, as a content creator or a journalist, I guess, or a political commentator, ever bring somebody on and kind of popularize these things, okay? These people are ultimately part of a criminal operation, an enterprise, a terrorist movement that...
Yeah, you should never do a podcast with someone who's a serial lolicon enjoyer, for example. You know what I mean? Year in, year out. Who also happens to be a fucking genocide denier and a genocide lover, as a matter of fact, because they're super fucking pro-Israel, on top of a litany of other problems. And I actually went on that podcast, and I didn't know any of this shit, by the way. But I'm sure that his podcast co-hosts were very fucking familiar with his, the full breadth of his perspective, especially considering the fact that they apparently sat in a fucking Discord and enjoyed the lolicon together and criticized it, I guess. Many of them brainwashed into these groups. Yeah, dude, he's brainwashed into being fucking pro-Palestine.
Shouldn't be glorified.
Remember, this person is not even a fucking Houthi. He's just operating on this false premise. It's a lie. It's wrong. It's just incorrect. I don't know how else to describe it.
And it's not similar to interviewing like bin Laden back in 1997 with CNN. These are situations where even back then, these were interviews done respectfully, and it wasn't in a way to glorify.
In 1997, when bin Laden was interviewed, he was not, I believe he was still considered a brave anti-socialist warrior. Was he not? Or was this after the first, not the 9/11, but the... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the interviews conducted with Osama bin Laden originally were very positive. In 1993, the original one that I'm thinking of is from The Independent by Robert Fisk, who called him a anti-Soviet warrior, puts his army on the road to peace. But I think by 97, he'd already done some attacks. Fisk interviewed bin Laden again in 1996. He'd just been exiled from Sudan and was back in Afghanistan. The interview was conducted 10 days after bombing Al-Khobar. Saudi Arabia killed 19 U.S. soldiers, and though responsibility for that attack has been attributed to both Al-Qaeda and Iran, bin Laden told Fisk that this doesn't mean declaring war against the West and Western people, but against the American regime, which is against every American. The explosion in Al-Khobar did not come as a direct reaction to the American occupation, but as a result of American behavior against Muslims. Its support of Jews in Palestine and the massacres of Muslims in Palestine and Lebanon. During one of Fisk's interviews with bin Laden, Fisk noted an attempt by bin Laden to convert him. Bin Laden said, "Mr. Robert, one of our brothers had a dream that you were a spiritual person. This means you are a true Muslim." That's funny. The interview he's talking about, I believe, is probably the CNN one, because bin Laden has been interviewed a shitload of times. And this was after he declared jihad on the United States. And in the interview, Peter Arnett asked, "What are your future plans?" Bin Laden said, "You'll see them and hear about them in the media, God willing." CNN producer Peter Bergen, who produced bin Laden's interview with Arnett, was also present during this interview, and it became the first television interview in which bin Laden declared war against the United States for a first time to a Western audience. Now, that's Osama bin Laden. He did 9/11, okay? He's not a random 19-year-old Yemeni teenager who's like, I only care about the genocide in Gaza, and I'm with anyone, no matter what their background is, that wants to put an end to this genocide in Gaza, the genocide of the Palestinians. Not only that, but also, even if he was a fucking card-carrying Houthi militant at the time, he was still not officially a part of the state-sponsored terrorism designation, according to the State Department, because the Biden administration had actually taken off the Ansar Allah movement from the state-sponsored terror designation in 2021. The Biden administration had actually recently moved to put them back on the state-sponsored terror designation. However, that was going to kick in 30 days in. 30 days after they had officially made that declaration. Not entirely certain if I'd interviewed this person who was not a Houthi, but even if he was a Houthi, it still wouldn't have been me interviewing someone who's a card-carrying terrorist in that regard. I have, however, watched interviews that very important journalists have conducted with people who are considered card-carrying terrorist leaders, like Yahya Sinwar, for example. Yahya Sinwar was, before Israel killed him, the official leader of Hamas, both the military and also the Politburo chief, after Israel killed the Politburo chief. The reason why I'm actually adding all of this background information is because people who watch interviews or people who watch videos like Mudahar's Drama Slop don't know a single fucking thing about these issues, and they just go, this guy, this leftist libtard fucking interviewed terrorists and sucked him off. I hate him. And then they come in here and try to repeat that same exact dumbass bullshit in my chat. Okay? So baffling how the most mediocre Cheeto dust cum stain covered man can say dumb fuck coworker takes online, but because he says it confidently, people think he's correct or smart. Because there's a lot of fucking dumb fuck Cheeto crusted dusty ass motherfuckers out there who also hold those same views, and they love watching other people say it back. It makes people feel smart for their stupidity. That's what it is.
Anybody who is part of a seriously criminal operation that isn't designated just by one country, but by a consortium of countries, even countries that are diametrically opposed to each other, politically. These are actual interviews that people do with criminals as a way to get multiple sides of a story. It's not meant to glorify somebody or glorify their cause as something just.
Yeah. Mudahar, would you have the same smoke for someone that is in your orbit that you love a lot, giving glazing interviews to someone that's, maybe conducting a genocide? Maybe someone who actually went and visited the country that is currently conducting the genocide and actually sat down with officials that were in the process of conducting said genocide? Would you be like, man, it's really fucked up that this guy is glazing terrorists? I doubt that, possibly because you don't have any issue with people being pro-Israel.
In a way, it's like presenting people like Sneeko or Andrew Tate, who I've made videos on in the past. It's like if I promote them or talk about them on my channel, it's usually with a very objective view. It's usually with a very careful view, where obviously if they promote bad ideologies, right? Like
he's been talking about one thing based off a lie he made up for the past 5 minutes of the video. I know.
Hatred or bigotry. It's about sitting there and deconstructing it with actual facts and logic instead of, sitting down and kind of, hype beasting it.
Why do these fucking people that don't know a single damn thing about any of these issues choose to make these fucking videos and just chirp without literally not even doing the bare minimum research necessary to fucking understand any of these things? It's actually shocking. I really should be tackling these fucking slop farmers a little bit harder, especially when they dip their toes in the political arena a little bit. But they do it in this like insanely annoying centrist way too, where it's like they're so scared of taking a position that they can only fucking talk about geopolitics while playing this fucking old ass video game in the background. And they can only cover these issues from the framework of drama and like Twitch's terms of service. Is so fucking stupid. God damn. We are making an entire generation of people intellectually uncurious.
To the point where you're normalizing it to a whole bunch of communities, right? It's like hosting a neo-Nazi on your actual channel and not combating them on their terrible beliefs or their violent or extremist beliefs, right? You have to be able to counter these people if you're willing to platform them.
I know, it'd be really bad if you were like friendly with a neo-Nazi, like if you went and got chicken and waffles with them, if you openly admitted that you gave his phone number to other podcasters so he could go on all these other podcasts and shows. It'd be really bad if someone that you're friends with, someone that you really like, Mudahar, if it came out that that person that you were friends with was like fucking a white nationalist like Lawrence Southern while also simultaneously collaborating with other Nazi pedophiles like Sam Hyde, or even turning around and having chicken and waffles and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that your ex-wife made for those Nazis at your house. It'd be really fucked up if you then turned around and openly talked about how you platformed this person and tried to give them a career, even though you knew that they were a Nazi, and then simultaneously argued against your community over and over again that they were not actually a Nazi at all. Oh, that's right. Destiny did all of that, and Mudahar sucks his cock on a daily fucking basis.
Otherwise, they just have a free speaker to operate their, shitty beliefs over. And these are things that, again, no matter which side of the political spectrum you fall onto, I would imagine political content creators would be a bit more careful than even average YouTubers. If you got people like me who are just engineers and computer scientists that know better and know how to actually handle these facts, then these people are...
Yeah. We should leave it up to people who know better, like Mudahar, a person who I don't think has said anything about Israel-Palestine up until this moment. The only time he opened his stupid fucking dumbass mouth to talk about Israel-Palestine seemingly was to shit on, suspiciously, a lot of people who are pro-Palestine. He said the Israel-Palestine issue is too complicated. Maybe he was worried. Maybe he was worried it was so complicated that, like, him as a brown Muslim guy talking about Israel-Palestine was going to draw a lot of ire, similar to this hate video that he fucking put together haphazardly. This fucking slop-ridden smear shit.
Complete buffoons.
I'm not an expert on this issue, guys, but let me tell you for 38 minutes why these other people who are infinitely better read than myself on this issue, who have talked about this issue and have interviewed academics on this issue, interviewed journalists on this issue, actually had not one, but multiple genocide survivors on this issue, from Motaza Zaiza, award-winning photojournalist who escaped Gaza, all the way to Rashid, who is, someone who actually is still living in Yemen.
They shouldn't be operating in this field of content.
Yeah, people who have interviewed, Israeli draft dodgers, conscientious objectors of the Israeli draft, activists, Israeli Knesset members. What the fuck do I know? I've only spent thousands and thousands of hours not only reading up on this shit and also advocating for Palestinian emancipation for the past 10 years. What the fuck do I know? Listen to some dumbass who fucking normally talks about Linux and I used to have a podcast with a fucking dude who apparently did fucking pedophile lolicon porn reviews on. Let's hear that guy's take on what I'm doing. Yeah. Seemingly the subject matter expert here. I'll refer to you next time I want to hear what your takes are on fucking lolicon, okay? Jesus Christ. Like the gall, the audacity, the fucking hubris, like the idea that these guys... This shit's gone on for far too fucking long, okay? Oh my God, there are so many dumbasses who think they know what's what.
Content in the first place.
Now, that same guy that Hasan was kind of sucking the dick off basically was out there posting the executions we will carry out on all Zionists in this situation.
Yeah.
Now, one could sit down and probably say, yeah, he's probably talking about, just Zionists, not Jews in specific. But, looking into this person and the Houthi movement and the group in particular.
The Muslim Zionist Network? What the fuck is this? Oh, God, I don't want to see this shit.
The idea of anti-Zionism is also conflated with, anti-Semitism in this situation as well. It's just more hateful rhetoric that is being constantly pushed down anyone's feed. I think hate from any angle is bad.
Okay. He said anti-Zionism is being conflated with anti-Semitism? Okay, wait, hold on.
But this guy is not necessarily any innocent, party. Now, obviously, Twitch, who is in such a weird state right now.
What? Did I misunderstand this? Just to clear it up, you interviewed Rashid on January 16, 2024, and the U.S. designated the Houthis as a terrorist group again on the next day on January 17th. Yeah, and that wasn't even implemented until the next month. There's a 30-day barrier, so it doesn't even matter. This Belarusian child said, fuck the NSDAP. This is alarming. It's like, Mudahar, maybe it's because you got off Twitter because everyone was being racist to you that you didn't see the metric ton of hatred that those who are pro-Israel, open up against anyone who is against Israel's genocide. Like, this man's like, I can't believe what he's saying. Well, wait till you use the translate from Hebrew option on Twitter, okay? I've seen things that I did not know. Like, I've seen levels of hatred that I did not know existed in the world, okay? Like, shit that I have not even heard from the worst of Nazis coming from, like, people who have, like, liberal, please no hate in the bio. Yeah, the linguistic vitriol. Yeah. These are just a few bad apples. Literal Israeli ministers of the Knesset. Bro, we're talking about Israel, man. They had an emergency Knesset meeting in the middle of the fucking summer where Benjamin Netanyahu, the current prime minister of Israel's own party, the Likud party, had a Knesset get up and yell at one of the fucking Arab ministers to defend the right of Israeli concentration camp guards raping Palestinian prisoners to death. Okay? He said that Israeli concentration camp guards have the right to rape Palestinians to death. It's not even a joke. It's on tape. And this motherfucker's over here being like, some random teenager in Yemen said, this is what we're going to do to the Zionists. Guys, have you seen this? Have you seen how scary this is? This fucking 19-year-old in Yemen, a country that has been bombed into oblivion. I can't believe it, dude. I can't believe it. It's like, dude, wait till you hear what people are doing in Israel. You are gonna be shocked. Shocked, I tell you. But of course, that is my problem with these centrist face sitters, or face sitters, centrist fence sitters. Okay? If you don't mention any of that shit, all of a sudden this looks weird. And if you compare it to like some fucking American neo-Nazi, then, ooh, scary. Ooh, this is scary. We got to tone police these guys, man. We got to tone police these guys. Like, first of all, if this motherfucker was a die-in-the-wool anti-Semite, he's in Yemen. What are you talking about? The Ansar Allah banner literally says, curse the Jews. If he was fucking anti-Semitic, he would say it. Like, what? You think he's worried about being canceled? You think he's not going to be able to get a fucking HR job at BuzzFeed? You dumb fuck? Like, these guys are so stupid. It just like blows my mind. Just like literally pull your head out of your fucking ass, dude. Oh my God. Motherfucker who's 19 years old living in Yemen has no reason to fucking shelter his anti-Semitic views and use dog whistles. Like, he would just fucking straight up be like, yeah, no, I don't like them. Okay? That's what he would say. It's so dumb. I just don't get it.
Has decided to let this guy constantly stream and, from what I understand, even unban the account, to which he's an actual streamer on Twitch right now.
This entire conversation is fucking idiotic. It's not a Jewish person. He said, wait, what is this? What is happening here?
And even unban.
Is he just like stealing Ethan's conversation is fucking idiotic. It's not a Jewish person. Is he just like stealing Ethan's arguments? Is that what it is? Oh, it's the pic that Rashid posted. He said, is Mudahar your op now? Dude, anyone who maxes out at fucking 4 brain cells is my op going forward. And yes, this is a lot of the drama slop tubers who try to fucking present themselves as like intellectual giants, okay? By simply just never really taking a firmly held position until it's actually being fucking anti-left. We arrived at this because someone was like, oh, Muda was outed as a pedophile. I investigated it. Turns out he's not, okay? Even though most of my ops end up revealing themselves as that. He was, he had a podcast that I've literally been on, by the way, with some fucking freak loser. Oompaville's fine. He's cool. But from helping you optimize your Steam Deck to be in your op, yeah. This shit feels like Gamergate 2 only now is about something actually serious and the gamers are full-blown fascists from the start. It's just like... Yeah, he was... apparently, he was caught looking at lolicon porn, hand-drawn child pornography with this other freak and on his former podcast. Are they still... Do they still have a podcast? Do they still have a podcast together, or do they not have a podcast any longer? I don't know. Well, I've been on that fucking podcast. What do you call Mudahar and talk about it and confront him? I don't even know how the fuck I would reach out to him. But yeah, no, I wouldn't have a problem fucking talking to Mudahar about this shit. What do you think? You think he wants to fucking have a conversation with me about Israel Palestine? Are you fucking crazy? Are you insane? This motherfucker has avoided speaking out on the issue, saying it's complicated. The only time he's actually ever fucking talked about it is apparently to shit on me. So I doubt that he would want to fucking talk about Israel Palestine with someone who's actually knowledgeable. He would much rather write, rehash what other dumbasses have fucking put together in a 38-minute video to be like, oh, why are Twitch is a disgustingly evil platform. They're allowing meanie bobini things to be said about Israel. Oh, it makes me so sad. Why is Twitch not banning these people? I also love principled free speech. I'm a principled free speech defender. Yeah. I hate this shit. These guys are such little fucking cowardly losers, dude. I have no charity for you any longer. What is this? This is who he hangs out with? They even hung out all together in Keemstar's house? Ugh. Ugh. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. I can smell that video. Holy shit. Why am I held accountable for some random fucking...
Because you platformed him. How fucking hard is that?
Why did he stop this? Why did he stop this video? Why didn't he watch the whole video where I'm talking about why am I being held accountable for some fucking random Yemeni teenager 12 months after the interview was conducted in the midst of an ongoing genocide where children are being burned every single day? I wonder why he stopped it there.
You're the one.
Because my overarching point is it's really fucking stupid to laser focus on whatever anyone that I've actually interviewed is saying 10 months after the fact when my goal here is to cover the ongoing atrocities.
To put him on your channel unapologetically and then memed with him about One Piece. Didn't ask him one single critical question.
I did. I asked him if he hates Jewish people. He said no. He actually loves anyone who is anti-Israel, who is against Israel's genocide. That's number one. Number two, I asked him if he was a Houthi. He said no, he's not a Houthi. He's just from Yemen. He's a Yemeni teenager. So, you know, after that point, you're just mad that I fucking humanize someone who is, on the other side of the fucking world, who you disagree with. You disagree with his opinions.
That's you. You did that. I'm criticizing you. You're not accountable for him. You're accountable for yourself.
Now, honestly, that's probably the best way to put it. Thank you, Ethan Klein, for saying it like that. And, you know, at the end of the day, it kind of almost harkens back to, again, hey, listen, if you're going to put somebody on your channel.
Yeah, once again, anyone that focuses on this shit is a goddamn rube or a sucker or a grifter who doesn't give a fuck about anything and simply wants to fucking farm the outrage points for some sweet, juicy clout, or is secretly in the tank for Israel, but a little embarrassed about how in the tank for Israel they are, and they can't fucking contend with the reality that is their audiences are not in the tank for Israel, and therefore now they've like lost their fucking minds and have gone on this like righteous conquest. Oh, I'm not sufficiently pro-Palestinian is what my audience is saying, and I can't fucking understand where they're coming from. So I've decided actually everyone that is pro-Palestinian is in the wrong. And the only people I will ever platform going forward will be people who, you know, seemingly defend Israel quite a bit and say, oh, I don't think it's a genocide, actually. That's like the permissible boundary of criticism against Israel. They're not doing a genocide, and it's all a bunch of bad actors that are simply sniping children, you know? Why aren't you against Palestinians? Why? You must be anti-Semitic.
Channel, you really should be able to counter them on their terrible beliefs.
Can we stop talking about this drama you're feeding into this? It's a Friday night, and we're 7 hours and 22 minutes in, okay? Suck my dick. It's not, you know.
You know, these are the same people that would say if you have like 10 people at a table and one of them are Nazis, and you're not countering that Nazi on his terrible beliefs, then congratulations. You have 10 Nazis at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with what he's saying. I just don't think that kid's a Nazi. If he says some Nazi shit, I would push back on it in our interview. That's the problem. Do you think that kid's a Nazi? Do you know anything? Have you even like proven why you think this kid's a Nazi? Have you done any research other than literally take some fucking Willie Mac bitch tits clips and also something that Ethan also clipped? Do you care about anything? Do you care about the truth? Do you care about a genocide? Like, it doesn't make any sense. These people just don't give a fuck about anything, and it blows my mind. It's like genuinely shocking to look at a world, right? Like world-changing events that are occurring. Tens of thousands of children fucking destroyed. Okay? I read accounts from a parent that felt fire for the first time. Woke up, okay? Immediately grabbed her son, started running out of the house, and in the process didn't realize that her son felt a little bit lighter. He turned back around and saw that it wasn't her son that she was holding, it was simply her son's arm, okay? That is the daily reality for Palestinians. That is the daily reality of life in Gaza. Just insurmountable levels of horror that our tax dollars are paying for in the United States of America. The Canadian government also plays its role, where Mudahar is from. And this is your only commentary that I talked to a 19-year-old, asked him if he's a Houthi, he said no, asked him if he was anti-Semitic, he said no, and I wasn't fucking sufficiently critical of him. That's your only commentary on this issue? You are nothing, okay? You are nothing. I cannot begin to explain to you how little I think of these monstrous pieces of shit, okay? You are less than nothing. Yeah, anyone and everyone. It's just weird. All of that stuff, that's just, you know, don't even talk about it. Don't even focus on it. Don't even mention that. Don't even mention the Palestinians. Maybe they deserved it. Who knows, right? Collateral damage. Who knows? But anyone and everyone that actually says, holy fuck, these man-made horrors beyond comprehension are completely unacceptable. This is genocide. Those guys are always bad. It's so crazy. I speak for 10 hours every single fucking day professionally. Many of the issues I speak on are very polarizing. Many of the positions I take are not positions that Americans are very comfortable with. Okay? You can clip me out of context or reframe something that I'm saying to mean the exact opposite. And as a matter of fact, many of these fucking dumbasses do that on a regular basis. Okay? If that's what you choose to do after 12 months, 13 months, 14 months of genocide, then you are less than nothing to me. And I will never fucking forget these monstrous pieces of shit for looking at a situation like the one happening, the one unfolding in Gaza, and choosing to never say anything about it, only to then make these fucking drama videos to call out the people who call out the Israeli government. It is disgusting. Go back to fucking reviewing Lolicon with your podcast co-host, you piece of shit. You know, stay in the area of your pocket of interest. Stay in areas that you are knowledgeable on. You know, go back to fucking chirping about cancel culture. It's like such a cynical deployment of this too, because like you turn around and you're like, cancel culture. I hate it. I don't like it. Free speech. I'm a defender of it. But also these guys, maybe these guys should be banned. I think it's really fucked up.
Table. You know, these are the same people that would say it. And I feel like you should.
No, this is not fucking AIPAC funded, chat. Shut up. You're delusional if you think that like AIPAC is funding fucking drama slop YouTubers to make these videos, man. Come on. No, it's just like a bunch of people who are afraid of taking a real visible stance on a fucking seriously significant thing, and they just see that the algorithm favors them. Yeah, he's not smart enough to get the bag for writing a video like this.
Hold people to that same accountability.
It's funded by the YouTube algorithm and the revenue that they get.
Across violent or hateful rhetoric, you should be combating it. Like you 100% should.
What's even fucking wild is when discussing this person in a very recent interview with Asmongold, like when they were talking about why Asmongold had his like wild takes. This is what Hasan had to say about that pirate. Watch this.
We're not like, oh, you're trans, we're gonna kill you. They were like, oh, thank you for your fucking humanitarian aid. They don't give a shit. Like it's the same as any other kind of person. I talked to a teenager from Yemen, okay, who everyone called, myself included, called Timothy Charlemagne or Chalamet.
Is that the One Piece one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now this kid is like, I think he was like 19 at the time when I talked to him. Which means that for most of his life, he has withstood genocide, right?
Sure.
Like he is a person whose only experience is like, it's literally like talking to fucking Anne Frank, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I can't wait to hear this. I can't wait to hear what he's going to say. Let me guess. He's going to be like, Anne Frank didn't actually overtake ships and engage in piracy. If Anne Frank rose up in arms against the fucking Nazis, I don't think you would criticize Anne Frank. And I think if you criticized Anne Frank for rising up in arms against Nazis or try to disrupt their supply lines or anything like that, and you actually tried to criticize that, everyone would understandably call you a fucking Holocaust supporter or a Holocaust revisionist, a fucking Nazi. Okay?
You know, where's that part of Anne Frank's diary when she was also raiding ships?
Good one, dude. Yeah, I know. Would that be a problem? Would that be a fucking problem, Mudahar? Why do you hate the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising? Do you think that they shouldn't have done that? Oh man, the Nat Turner Rebellion really fucking... It was really messed up, dude. They really should not have done that. John Brown should not have done what he did. Real terrorist, okay? You have to match the violence that those who were consistently oppressed and enslaved or destroyed and killed with the violence of the oppressors, okay? Do you think it changes the dynamic of chattel slavery? This kid didn't even engage in the piracy himself, by the way. I can't believe we're still having this conversation. Holy fuck. Do you think he knows what he's saying, or is he just fucking dumb? No, he's just fucking dumb. This guy watched Inglourious Basterds just like I did and probably loved it. Okay, he didn't go, violence is never allowed, sir. No, you fucking love that shit, and so do I.
Like, these are things where, again, yes, in one way, Hasan is kind of like this weird hyperbolic individual where, like, he'll, you know, he has, like, kind of a point. Both these people are young. They've seen death and destruction their entire life. And you can almost empathize with somebody who is doing a bad thing is part of.
Dude, he's not, okay? He's not. You made that up. You didn't even make that up. That's the worst part. He didn't even come up with that lie. He just saw someone else lie about it and went along with it.
Of a terrible movement, is part of a terrible group that is actually
he doesn't even know what this group is or what they're doing. He just knows it's terrible. He knows it's like appropriate to say it's terrible. That's it. You're literally, yeah, you're paraphrasing a Twitter post at this point. It's like lower than the lowest form of commentary.
Committing crimes, and you can understand why they do it because of the, you know, world that they've lived in. But then to compare it to like Anne Frank, who, you know, again, is a pacifist in comparison, is just insane shit.
Would it be inappropriate if Anne Frank wasn't a pacifist during the Holocaust, Mudahar? If Anne Frank wasn't a pacifist during the Holocaust, would you have a problem with that, Mudahar? Do you hear what you're saying? Do you hear the words that are coming out of your fucking mouth, dumbass? Also, Anne Frank was a child. I personally, if Anne Frank grew up and was able to escape and then, you know, fought back against the Nazis, I would not go around saying, if she participated in the disruption of supply lines for the Nazis, I would not sit around and say, it's kind of fucked up. Yes, I know she died at a young age. I think, 15. I know. Like, what are you doing? You're doing civility politics for Anne Frank now? What the fuck is this? And there are plenty of examples of people who also died fighting too during the Holocaust. And we understandably celebrate celebrate those acts.
And it's weird because, like, you know, it's in one of these situations where when it comes to, like, people like Hasan, you know, we've had him on, like, the podcast, the Some Ordinary podcast, one of the first actual, like, you know, big guests. And on that show, what's insane to me is, like, look, people like Frogan, people like Asmongold, I would say that they're pretty stupid in understanding these situations. I'm stupid. Hasan, however, is not. This guy knows better, yet he just purposefully goes and obfuscates.
Yeah, if that's the case, then maybe listen to my fucking words, dumbass, instead of repeating what some other goddamn haters are saying. Try to understand what I'm saying. You are arriving at that point to begin with. I guess the only issue we have here is that he's just like automatically, oh, this guy's a Houthi, he's a pirate, he's a Houthi, he's a pirate, he's a Houthi, he's a pirate, that's bad, he's a bad guy. They're doing piracy for the sake of piracy. These guys just love doing piracy. That's why they're doing it.
Skates things like this. It's insane. Now, again, I don't want to jump and make this like a super political video because, again, I'm not equipped to even discuss this kind of stuff, but I am.
You're 30 minutes in. What are you doing? You can't say that 30 minutes into a video. You aren't. You aren't equipped to have this conversation. That's insane, dude. It comes out, I can't be wrong, but this expert should know better. I am right, even though I'm stupid. Delirious and insane, right? No, he's so close to arriving at the truth of the matter, which is, yes, you are stupid. And yes, you are not knowledgeable on this issue. And yes, I do know more than you on this issue. But instead of being like, I wonder where he's coming from. Maybe there's more to this commentary over the course of fucking 10 hours. No, I will not investigate this further. He's a terrorist. You love terrorists. You love doing piracy. the Yemeni population across the board are just like epigenetically locked into their destiny, their predetermined destiny of doing piracy on the Red Sea, even though they didn't do it before the Gaza genocide. You can't take a dick out of your mouth for a half hour and then say, I'm not trying to be gay here. Listen, I know I've been sucking this cock real good for the past 30 minutes, but no homo. No homo.
Somebody that has basically been seeing a lot of this, like, you know, insane side of the internet effectively take over and become so normalized.
Yeah,
Now,
I know. The insane side of the internet, the fucking anti-genocide side of the internet is so insane, dude. Why can't people make reasonable criticisms of Israel's metric ton of death and destruction and child mutilation machine? Wow. Yeah, why can't they have reasonable takes like me, who said, it's too complex for me, I'll stay out of it?
In the situation, you know, like I've said before, and I've been clipped a few times, and, you know, even when I stream, you know, videos do get uploaded of my takes on situations that I feel like I need to clarify. I'm not somebody that is afraid to say that genocide is wrong. I think that there is an actual case of, you know, genocide, and there's an actual case of attack that goes towards the Palestinian people. I think there's very serious situations that go around the world. Now, at the same time, these are situations that involve, you know, a group of people, Muslims and Jews, that have effectively been at each other's throats for not
Guys, one could say that the Palestinians are experiencing what could be considered the first steps of contextually appropriate framing of genocide, but also, you know, Jews and Muslims, they've just been at it for centuries. They've just been doing, this is a Jews and Muslims thing.
not just decades, but hundreds of years. It's why when I talk about these situations,
That's crazy. I'm sure Mudahar understands the history very well. Yeah. He definitely seems to me like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah. No, he knows. He knows that you know, during the Ottoman administration of the region, you know, Jews and Muslims were at each other's throats. He knows. Certainly. That's not what happened. This is a maximum 100-year, 1920s, okay? This is the Balfour Declaration thing, okay? That's it. And the worst aspect of it, the most violent aspect of it, has been for 76 years. Yeah, maybe he, just like Joe Biden, just bought the Rashid Khalidi 100 years of Palestine.
in a nuanced conflict, I say that, listen,
Jon Stewart said the same thing, though. Yeah, he's wrong. Okay, he's wrong. The Ottomans protected us for centuries. Many of us are very grateful. Yeah, I know. It's under the Ottoman Empire, the entire region of the Ottoman Empire was considered a far safer territory for Jews. Jews that escaped the Spanish Inquisition went to the Ottoman Empire. Some of them even went to what is known as Palestine at the time.
You are talking about hundreds of years of like just institutional dislike between each other.
If we're going to talk about ancient conflict, it's not Jews versus Muslims. Okay? You mean Israel? Bitch, Israel didn't fucking exist. What are you talking about? What is Israel? Sarcasm might be. It's okay. Sorry. Got a little fucking heated there. Like, what makes someone who normally just churns out bottom of the barrel fucking Reddit back slop on, I don't know, Moist Critical said this, or I don't even think he would go after Moist Critical, but like a dude who hangs out with fucking Keemstar and like Boogie 1477 or 1488, sorry. Like, what leads you, what compels you into thinking that you can even tackle the minutia of this complex geopolitical situation that you said is complex? The morality of it is clear. It's not complex at all. Genocide wrong. But like, what the fuck makes you think you could just talk about this shit? And the problem here is, this is the reason why he thinks he could talk about this shit. Okay? 1 million fucking views on this. Don't say Wikipedia. He hasn't even opened a fucking Wikipedia page.
If you've ever grown up Muslim, and I
like, make a video about how Bloodborne is not 60 FPS, please. Make a video about how, you know, it hasn't come, they haven't brought a PC port to Bloodborne. Like, stay in your fucking lane, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Also, clean your fucking shirt. God damn, it's so disrespectful.
have, then you know that there is a serious culture of anti-Semitism, in amongst the most conservative of Muslim circles. Just as you will know that there is a serious amount of Islamophobia in the most right-wing of Jewish circles. These are two groups of people that literally are just fighting each other, and it's not going to change.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Brother. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is not about Islamophobia versus anti-Semitism. Oh my God. Also, it's not just Jewish people in Israel that exhibit severe levels of Islamophobia, okay? And same with anti-Semitism, mind you. It's not fucking just Muslims, conservative Muslims that have a lot of anti-Semitism. Have you met like a white guy? Like a white right-winger? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, have you seen the average U.S. congressperson? They hit both of those markers of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia.
Change until like the youth grow up.
Did I say white winger? I said right winger.
Realize that this kind of hatred towards each other doesn't really meld well. And when it comes to people dying in a conflict zone like Gaza right now, there is literally nothing that I feel other than sadness for men, women, and children needlessly dying for no reason. It's why that, time and time again, I donate as much as I can to aid. Even going, like tens of thousands of dollars just to make sure that people who need medical assistance, and I vet my charities the best that I can to assist people in really shitty situations. I don't make it a big deal to talk about it because I don't think donating money should be constantly promoted in the sense that, are you really doing it to help people? Or
he's a good guy, man. He's a really good guy.
You're doing it to make yourself look better in the eyes of the world. But it's
I'm gonna talk about it, but I'm also gonna talk about how I don't talk about it.
The tiniest thing that I can do in order to.
How does it feel to get flexed on like that? Yeah, it fucking destroyed me. I never donate, except for today, where every single merchandise that you guys purchased today from the ideology.shop is all proceeds are going to Races, Texas, which is a charity that works with immigrants in Texas. Not racist, man. Oh, God. Races. 100% of the proceeds at ideology.shop is going to Raíces, Texas. What is this? Nah, that's just one of many different instances where we've fundraised for Palestinians. That's just,
to make sure that, maybe somebody who needs medical assistance in a part of the world where they literally can, literally it is one of the most like sought after needs, can get some attention. And it's one conflict that I hope before I die, things can kind of change. Now, ultimately, I really do think that Twitch is fucking cooked when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, dude, I think we should ban the fucking guy who was, I love doing donations, but Twitch should ban the guy who was fundraised to the tune of multiple millions of dollars for those Palestinians that I definitely do care about, because some other dumbass who was my friend online who also doesn't give a shit about Israel Palestine made another fucking drama YouTube video, and I agree with him. Yeah. Guys, I care about Palestine the right way. You understand? And if you care about Palestinians the right way, you have to demand that Hasan gets banned, because after all, I care about the inconsistencies in the terms of service of Twitch. That's right. And it's weird. It's weird that they haven't banned him. Maybe because they have seen, they have the tens of thousands of hours of commentary in their fucking servers where they can go and see if I am an anti-Semite or not, or if something I've done is actually fucked up or not. And they're not simply operating off of, 3-second snippets that the Willie Fart Show is putting together, or Ethan Klein is chirping about.
The clips that I've seen the last few days have been downright disgusting to witness. One of the things that I noticed on my phone, and my wife actually saw this too, was I opened up the health app on my phone. And I guess I did a questionnaire. And inside my questionnaire, I was actually like diagnosed. Well, I wouldn't say diagnosed, but the questionnaire rated me as moderately severe to depression. And I don't recall myself ever being in that route or in that stage. There was a video that a creator I respect, known as Jacksepticeye, made a couple days ago titled Help, where he talked about the internet and toxicity, and most importantly, the...
Damn, dude. I'm sorry that you're depressed and internet is contributing to your toxicity. I'm so glad that you're, engaging yourself in this kind of fucking nonsense. Let me tell you something, okay? I'm not depressed. I cover atrocities on a fucking daily basis, and I'm not depressed. I sleep like a goddamn baby. You want to know why? Because my conscience is sound. Because I know my cause is just. Because I'm not a fucking dumbass who does this dumb shit. Okay? Can't say the same about these fucking losers who are up my ass. Is this a BetterHelp ad? No, no way. I don't think it's a BetterHelp ad. That would have been the fucking icing on the cake. No, it's not. He's just talking about how like the internet is so toxic. The internet is so toxic, guys. Anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna be very sincere here, okay? Especially when you are a visibly brown person and you are desperately trying to farm these fucking incels. Yeah. You're gonna find yourself in really fucking toxic caves. You're hanging out with Keemstar. No shit, it fucks up your brain, dude. You're hanging out with Keemstar. You're trying to fucking make waves and inroads with a bunch of the worst people online that despise you for your intrinsic qualities that you can't change about yourself. Have some fucking decency and self-respect. Okay? Not saying that that's going to fix depression, of course, and I hope he gets the medical help necessary. But there are certain things that you're doing that are not helping your mental situation. You should tweet at him, calling him out and ask the chat. No, he already fucking left Twitter because it's racist as fuck. To him specifically. Yeah. It's funny he respects Jacksepticeye who's pro-Palestinian. No, but you don't understand. He's pro-Palestinian in the right way, okay? And that is a way where it's like other drama YouTuber friends of his have not put Jacksepticeye in the crosshairs. So he's not an appropriate or acceptable target of people's ire. That's different. There's valid targets that are worthy of criticism. And then there are invalid targets. People who are well liked by everybody else is not a valid target. You must understand, especially if you're a fence sitter who cares about what people think about you. Also, Jacksepticeye is the GOAT. He's great. I don't even remember how we got to the fucking end of England from the end of England video. Your Pepe still have blackface? Yeah, it's because I chroma keyed out green. What? Because one person mentioned Muda? Wait, what? Oh, I did get one guide. That's true.